Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Can you please confirm if voice is good?
It's good, Prabhuji.
Yes,
Okay.
Prabhuji, it's fine.
Okay. So, sorry for the delay. I have a network issue here. Om Jnana-timirandhasya Jnananjana-salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Katha Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Patakamalan Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishaka Anvitamscha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Narayana Namaskritcham Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhirayet Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, we are reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 29. This is a conversation between Mother Devahuti and Kapila Muni, the expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In that, I remember, Komal Prabhu, you were reading the first half till 22nd verse, but I think we didn't go through, in terms of explanation, all the verses. Maybe someone can help me. I think we stopped at 13 or not even 13. Can someone tell me which was the last verse we discussed last Saturday?
Prabhuji, 4 type of devotees we were discussing. I don't remember by the verse number, but last what we discussed is in different
That is
modes
about
devotees.
separate. 9, verse number 9 then. Or even
Yeah.
not even 9.
In the
Only
mode
8.
of
Yes. So, yeah, thank you very much. So we were talking about separatist. Separatist is the one who has a separate agenda other than the agenda of the Lord. The agenda of the Lord is to always be his devotee. Yeah. So that is what is the agenda of the Lord, that everyone sincerely takes up to the devotional process and worships him. So, but what happens is that when uh, we think that no, after all I have free will, after all I have independence, and I have to execute such independence for my happiness, then those are they are called as, or we are called as separatist. So yeah, thank you, Varsana Lila Mataji. So, and we take it from there, and we'll go till at least 22 this time. So in the verse number 9, I think. Yeah, in the verse number 9, we see the definition of that separatist from the purport. The word separatist must be understood carefully. The Sanskrit words that are used in the last two verses is Vinadrik and Pratak Bhava. So both are one who sees his interest as separate from that of the Supreme Lord. And we were in this connection discussing there are four kinds of devotees. Yeah? We were thinking that okay, devotee means is one who has faith in Krishna or who has faith in the Supreme Lord, and then they are first class. Yeah, but in that there are also people who have a different interest. Of course, last time we were discussing about someone is suffering and they want relief, so they approach Lord. Some are some want to acquire knowledge, that's why they want to go to the Lord. Some just have some inquiries, so what is it, what is what, and in this mode of inquiry, inquisitiveness, they go to the Lord. And one who is very greedy, yeah, or one who wants to make more money, or become more and more opulent, more rich, so he also wants to go to the Lord. I think that is where is mentioned here, the oneness. Yeah. So when we talk about this, so which means devotee, there is a partial interest but not complete interest. It's not too bad. It's not too bad like a atheist where his full focus is only to become only rich. He want to mitigate everything with his riches. He thinks that there is no God. Why to go behind him? There is like Charvak Siddhant. Charvak Siddhant is everything is in this world. There is no heaven or hell outside. It is everything here. What you do, you get it. If you work hard, you are happy. There is no karma philosophy like that. So people create their own uh, base of knowledge to support their own position. Maybe that guy has more facilities, so he's coming with one, and maybe the other person who is very poor, he will come with some other philosophy. Ultimately is to become happy, but the true happiness lies when we take shelter of the Supreme Lord, and these are the verses which will take us to have a better understanding of that. A pure devotee has no interest but to act on the behalf of the Supreme Lord. When one has even a tinge of personal interest, I mean, this is what is in the last. A pure devotee has no interest, yeah, but when one has even a tinge, even a small of personal, just like a pure milk which is contaminated by what do you call citric acid, or a drop of lemon, yeah, even a tinge of personal interest, his devotion is mixed with the three modes of material nature. So in that, and then we see karma nirharam uddeshya. So here we see what is the uddeshya, what is the purpose. Yeah, we always, when we are working, we want to see what is our interest, what is our uddeshya. Karma nirharam, yeah, which is through to activities, freeing himself from. So that is the interest that I want to be free from. I don't know if this is the one that had the fourth. No. Yeah. Devotional service in the mode of ignorance divided into 8. I think 81. Yeah, we read this also. Yeah, so many. Because of this drop of impurity or contamination or adulteration, makes that pure devotion takes a different flavor of up to one of the 81 kinds. And from here we'll go. Madguna Shruti Matrena. And now we are seeing Madguna Shruti Matrena Maye Sarva Guhasaye Manogatir Avichinna Yata Gangam Vaso Ambudaho. So here we are talking about that the manifestation of unadulterated devotional service means which is pure. There is no adulteration. Pure is exhibited only when one's mind is at once attracted to hearing the transcendental names and qualities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is residing in everyone's heart. Just as and this is the example, just as the water of Ganges flows naturally down towards the ocean, such devotional ecstasy, uninterrupted by any material condition, flows towards the Supreme Lord. So we know the Sangamam, how the rivers come together, and then all these rivers still are taking the way to the Maha Samudra, which is the ocean. And similarly, whatever interests we may have for our own personal interests, personal benefits, all these things, they cannot give us pure. They cannot. The um, uh, but when our mind is focused, on one aspect or one point, what is that? Anya Bilashita Shunyam. Yeah, so Anya Bila, there is no desire, no other interest except except Krishna, what is it? Anukulyena Krishnanu Bhakti Uttamam. So in that way, it says that when we have our attention completely towards Krishna and when we worship Him, then we are successful. And in the purport, Prabhupada is giving about the example about Karmarpanam. Uh, of course, here is the explanation of. Oh no, did I? What did I cross? Yeah, so Karmarpanam was the before one. So in this, it says that just after hearing about the transcendental qualities of the Supreme Lord. Mad Guna Shruti Matrena. Matrena is just only. Nothing else is required. What we should do? Mad Guna Shruti. Shruti is Shravanam. And what Shravanam? Not about mode of ignorance, not about mode of goodness, not about mode of passion, about Mad Guna. My qualities. And the Lord's qualities are transcendental. When we focus our attention on the things that is beyond this material nature, then only it is possible that we can relish. Then only it is possible that we can be unaffected by the conditioning of this material world. These qualities are called nirguna. Nirguna means having, it's not like there is no guna. It's not that guna means nature, or guna means mode of natures, and nirguna means not having mode of nature. Yes, but still it doesn't mean that there is no qualities. There are innumerable qualities, but they are not of nature of material existence. So the Supreme Lord is uncontaminated by the modes of material nature. Therefore, he is attractive to the pure devotee. There is no need to practice meditation to attain such attraction. The pure devotee is already in the transcendental stage, and affinity between him and the Supreme Personality is natural. So, this is what is bhakti. Bhakti means it's not like we are doing something to acquire something. Yeah, it is not that we are acquiring some capacity or ability, in this process of doing devotional service. No, the ability of or attraction is already there. Yeah, we may sometimes say, no, I have no attraction to bhakti. No, I don't have taste for devotion. I don't have taste for japa. I don't have taste for hearing kirtan. I don't have taste for reading books. I don't have taste for hearing katha. Yeah, the taste, the taste, sorry, the taste is covered. Just like when we are tasting some sweet, if our tongue is already having the taste buds are already covered, yeah. So we lack the ability to have the taste, but the taste buds are there. The ability to taste is also there. Everything is there. It is only kind of covered. Similarly, our attraction to the Lord is there. If not now, tomorrow. If not tomorrow, day after tomorrow. If not this month, next month. We will be able to appreciate that connection between us and the Supreme Lord one day. And how? Just like when the tongue is disturbed, we need to first clean the tongue. Then the senses, taste buds are activated or active, and then we can taste. Similarly, our heart is covered. Our heart is covered with so much, and when we remove that covering, uh, we are not now starting to build a connection to the Lord. The connection which is already there, we can start appreciating. Here, the example. The flow of Ganga water cannot be stopped by any condition. Similarly, a pure devotee's attraction for transcendental name, form, and pastimes cannot be stopped by any material condition. The word avichinna, without interruption, is very important. Yeah, in this connection, no material condition can stop the flow of devotional service of pure devotee. Here we are talking about that once we appreciate, once we find this, yes, once we know that I am the devotee of the Lord and have no other business. Though we are in this material world, this world will not be a disturbance. Usually we think that no, I have so many problems, yeah, one after the other, they come without any interruption. Without any interruption, we feel like, oh, I am always disturbed. That is also avichinna. But the devotee is not feeling like that. Devotee is seeing that this is arrangement, that we are in this world, then we will have these things. But because he know the art of swimming in this bhavasagara, in this ocean of material existence, he knows, yeah, these are only traps. We should safely hold on. Just like when we are taking a boat and when there is tides, yeah, we just don't leave our hands and just say, okay, nothing happens to me. Oh, it's cool to be in the stage. No, he holds on to some support. So a devotee, a pure devotee, yeah, he knows that this is only illusion. This is only temporary. This is not the Lord in his purest form. The Lord in his illusory energy he is casting, of course, which is also transcendental. It's not so easy to overcome, but he knows that there is another energy called spiritual energy of the Lord, and he takes shelter of spiritual energy, which is soothing. What is that? Koti Chandra Sushitalam. Yeah. And now the word comes. The word ahai tuki means without reason. A pure devotee does not render loving service to the Lord for any cause or for any benefit. This is very important. This is very important. Usually we come to the path of bhakti because of some motive. Some motto is there, okay, to fulfill that, let me go. After all, everyone has said that Lord is supreme, Lord is all powerful, Lord can fulfill our dreams and desires and our wishes. He can bless us, bless. So in that spirit we approach the Lord. But the purest form is ahaituki, pratihata, ahaituki means to render service without any reason. Now it's interesting, yeah. Come on, we do everything with a purpose. We do everything with a reason. But how can we practice devotion without a reason? Here he says that a pure devotee does not render loving service to the Supreme Lord for any cause or any benefit. Anya Bilashita, Shunyam. He has no desire to fulfill by rendering devotional service. Such devotional service is meant for the Purushottama, the Supreme Lord, and not for anyone else. Sometimes pseudo devotees show devotion to many demigods, thinking the forms of the demigods to be the same as the Supreme Lord. It is specifically mentioned here, however, that bhakti, devotional service, is meant only for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, Vishnu, or Krishna, not for anyone else. So, but then what are we supposed to do uh, um, when we come across demigod, devatas, anya devatas? So it is said that we do not worship, but we do upasana. Yeah, we offer our respect. In upasana, yeah, we remember. Yeah, in upasana, we offer our respect, and we thank them for what they have served us. Yeah, because they all are also still expansions and representatives of the Supreme Lord, but we do not worship them. The example is typically of administration. Yeah, if you see an administration, prime minister has so many minister cabinets and his sub cabinets and etc., so many people. Yeah, so if we see, we understand that there is one head of all, and whatever we are paying the taxes and everything is still going towards him, and he is the one who is again disposing, maintaining, and everything. So the Supreme Lord expands himself and arranges the representatives. So in that way, he oversees the whole creation, maintenance, and dissolution or destruction. And when it comes to bhakti, we are talking about devotional service. Devotional service is to be rendered only to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, Vishnu, or Krishna, yeah, or Vishnu Tattva expansions. Avyahita, without cessation. Avyahita means, sorry, avyavahita. Vahita, that's important. One second. I'm back. Can you hear me once? A pure devotee must engage in the service of the Lord 24 hours a day without cessation. His life is so moderate that every minute and every second he engages in some sort of devotional service to the Supreme Lord. Another meaning of avyavahita is that the interest of the devotee and the interest of the Supreme Lord are on the same level. So in that way, the devotee has no interest but to fulfill the transcendental desire of the Lord. So what is our motto is, it's not that, okay, now we are doing without any...
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I think voice is little cracking. I don't know whether it is our problem or
Others are also facing it one.
Am I audible now? But
For me also.
Yes, for me also it's a cracking, yeah.
now is it okay? Or still cracking? Hello,
No, Prabhuji, it's the same.
same. Okay. Let me connect to other network. Is it better now?
yes, Prabhuji.
Let's see. So avyavahita means without cessation. Yeah, a pure devotee must engage in the service 24/7 without cessation. Cessation means to give up. He's saying it's not that we go to a forest or we go to some place or where we give up the whole process of devotional service. Rather, we just only do meditation. No, it's not that. Avyavahita, his life is transformed in such a way, is molded, not transformed, is molded in such a way that every minute and every second he engages in some sort of devotional service to the Lord. Another meaning of avyavahita is that the interest of the devotee and the interest of the Lord are same. In that way, that's why we see that there is no difference. What Lord is saying, the devotee is just following, and that is what is one focus. Yeah, one same. The devotee has no interest but to fulfill the transcendental desire of the Lord. So in that way, a devotee is not a separatist. And then we go to the next. Which is about the a pure devotee does not accept any kind of liberation. And here we are talking about what are the
Hare
facts.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Is it still the same?
Yeah,
Okay.
it started.
Connected to my hotspot. I'm sure it will be better. Am I still in the call?
Yeah, it looks
Yes,
fine, Prabhu.
Okay. Fine. Okay. So I'm just repeating this verse 13. Salokya sasti samipya sarupya. Yeah, so there are these different kinds of liberations. Yeah, here it's mentioned. A pure devotee does not accept any kind of liberation. Uh, at a very primitive level, we think that I want liberation, I want mukti, I want moksha. Yeah, after all, yeah, because we are day in day out, left and right. Yeah, sufficiently toasted. Yeah, on all sides to feel the heat of this world. And then we think, no, this is very painful life. I want relief, I want mukti. And what kind of muktis are there? There is salokya, sasti, samipya, sarupya, ekatva. Hmm? And yeah, that was right. I think to mention here. Even though they are offered by the Supreme Lord. So devotee position is, even if mukti is offered, devotee is not interested in it. So once there was one who has a private temple. Yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Maybe the headset might be the issue. I think the voice gradually it's cracking.
Okay. I don't know. I can change the speaker. Let's give it a try. Can you hear me?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Okay. So here we are saying that that different kinds of liberations a devotee is not interested, even if the Lord is giving. Usually we see that, oh Lord, whatever you give, I want to take it. But here devotees are not interested even in that. Hmm? The reason is Lord Chaitanya teaches us how to execute pure devotional service. Here he says in Shikshashtakam, he prays to the Lord, "O Lord, I do not wish to gain from you any wealth, nadhanam. I do not wish to have a beautiful wife, nadhanam, najanam, na sundarim, nor do I wish to have many followers. All I want from you is that in this life, in life after life, I may remain a pure devotee. So in that way, a devotee is not dealing with the Lord with some business interest, that I am struggling, Lord, please give me some mukti. In the spiritual sky, I want to look like you. So no, not all these things. There is a similarity between the prayers of Lord Chaitanya and the statements of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Lord Chaitanya prays in life after life. And it is clearly stated here that a pure devotee does not desire ekatva, which means oneness with the Supreme Lord. And to become one with the Supreme Lord is beyond the dream of pure devotee. Sometimes he may accept promotion to Vaikuntha planet to serve the Lord there, but he will never accept merging into the Brahma Jyoti, which he considers worse than hellish. Such ekatva or merging into the effulgence of the Supreme Lord is called kaivalya. But the happiness derived from kaivalya is considered by the pure devotee to be hellish. The devotee is so fond of rendering service to the Supreme Lord that the 5 kinds of liberation are not important to him. If one is engaged in pure devotional service, it is understood that he has already achieved the 5 kinds of liberation. So this is not that is the goal, but of course, if the Lord wants to engage us in his service in one of these to keep us in this situation, he is okay. When a devotee is promoted to spiritual world, he receives 4 kinds of facilities. One of these is Salokya, which means residing in the same planet as the Supreme Lord. The Supreme Person in his different planetary expansions live on innumerable Vaikuntha planets, and the chief planet is Krishna Loka. Just as within the material universe, the chief planet is the sun. The Supreme Lord, the chief planet is Krishna Loka. From Krishna Loka, what is happening? The bodily effulgence of Lord Krishna is distributed not only to the spiritual world, but to the material worlds as well. It is covered by matter, however, in the material world. So this is what I think. Adipurusha Prabhu was telling that the spiritual world is also here. Only thing is we are not able to see it. So it is not that the spiritual world, the spiritual energy is not there. No, it is also there, but it is covered. It is covered by matter, however, in the material world. In the spiritual world, there are innumerable Vaikuntha planets, and on each one, the Lord is predominating deity. A devotee can be promoted to one such Vaikuntha planet to live with the Lord. So that is what is Salokya. Lokya means same planet. Sarsti liberation, what does it mean? The opulence of the devotee is equal to the opulence of the Lord. And Samipya means to be a personal associate of the Supreme Lord. Sarupya, liberation, in Sarupya liberation, the bodily features of the devotee are exactly like those of the Supreme Lord. But for 2 or 3 symptoms found exclusively on the transcendental body of the Lord. So exactly same. Only difference is that there is Srivatsa. For example, the hair on the chest of the Lord particularly distinguishes him from his devotees. A pure devotee does not accept these 5 kinds of spiritual existence, even if they are offered, and he certainly does not hanker after material benefits. The example, when Prahlad Maharaj was offered some material benefit, he said, I have no interest. I have seen that my father achieved all kinds of material benefits, and even the demigods were afraid of his opulence. But still, in a second, you have finished his life. So I don't want that. For a devotee, there is no question of desiring any material or spiritual prosperity. He simply aspires to serve the Lord. That is his highest happiness. So in that way, we should develop this consciousness that we are practicing bhakti with no interest to handle our material problems. Saeva bhakti yogakhya atyantika udahrita atyanta extremely yena tivra yena tivrajya trigunam madbhava yo papadyate. Upapadyate. So here we say that by attaining the highest platform of devotional service, one can overcome the influence of three modes of material nature. If we want freedom from all these things, the natural and safest way to attain that is to practice devotional service, pure devotional service. Why? Because one overcomes the influence of three modes. Any other process we may take, we are trying to restrict our mind, we are trying to restrict our senses so that they don't go in all these hankerings. But when one practices devotional service, automatically he goes beyond it so that the taste for material enjoyment will get reduced. Sripad Shankaracharya, who is supposed to be the leader of impersonal school, has admitted in the beginning of his comments on Bhagavad Gita that Narayan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is beyond the material creation. Except for him, everyone is within the material creation. This is what Shankaracharya has said. It is also confirmed in the Vedic literature that before the creation, there was only Narayan. Neither Lord Brahma nor Shiva existed. Only Narayana, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu or Krishna, is always in the transcendental position beyond the influence of material creation. The material qualities of goodness, passion, and ignorance cannot affect the position of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, he is called Nirguna. Yeah. So that is what it means that when we say Lord is a Nirguna, Nirgunakar means the material qualities of goodness, passion, and ignorance cannot affect the position of the Supreme Lord. So he is free from all tinges of material quality. How? Because after all, that material nature is material energy is his own energy. So he knows how to be unaffected by such energy. Here the same fact is confirmed by Lord Kapila. One who is situated in pure devotional service is also transcendentally situated, as is the Lord. Just as the Lord is unaffected, so also his devotees are unaffected. One who is not affected by three modes of nature is called liberated soul or Brahma Bhuta. Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma, na sochati na kankshati. He is a stage where he is not interested anymore about these material world, material sufferings. Aham Brahmasmi, we also hear this, I am not this body. This is applicable only to person who constantly engages in devotional service of Krishna and is thus in the transcendental stage. He is above the influence of three modes of material nature. So in that way, it is the misconception of impersonalists that one can worship any imaginary form of the Lord or Brahman and at the end merge in Brahman effulgence. Of course, to merge into Brahman, is also liberation, as explained, in the and Ekatva is also liberation, but that sort of liberation is never accepted by devotee. For qualitative oneness is immediately attained as soon as one is situated in devotional service. So it is clearly stated here that simply by pure devotional service one becomes qualitatively as good as the Lord himself. And a devotee must execute his prescribed duties, which are glorious, without material profit, without excessive violence. One should regularly perform one's devotional activities. That this question comes, what is this? A devotee should be non-violent, ahimsa vadi. When it is ahimsa, why are we telling without excessive violence? I don't know. I don't know, in one of the purports or in another place, Prabhupada explains that. Let's see. So one has to execute his prescribed duty according to the social position, Brahma, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. The prescribed duties of the four classes of men in human society are also described in Bhagavad Gita. The activities of Brahmana are to control the senses and to become simple, clean, learned devotees. So Brahmana, all of us coming from Indian background, Vedic culture, we know that there are these classes called Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. And who is a Brahmana? Is he only by birth becoming a Brahmana, or should he also have qualities? Or what is better, birth is dictating it, or is it the qualities that dictate whether a person is a Brahmana? Definitely it is the quality, which means a person who is born in any other classes can become a Brahmana, or a person who is born in Brahman family can become by his activities or by his qualities, influences, he can also fall from a position of a Brahmana. What determines is Gunakarma Vibhagashaha. Krishna is saying that this classification is based on the gunas and karmas. So if not by birth, not janma. So here the qualities of Brahmana are said that are to control the senses and to become simple, clean, learned devotees. So this is very important that we develop these qualities. After all of us should work to become first class Brahmanas. What is first class Brahmanas? Is to become learned devotees. How can we do that? By hearing the Katha, by hearing the glories of the Lord, by hearing the pastimes of the Lord. In that process, what we do is we are developing the qualities. Just like in these verses, we know how should be the devotion practiced. So in this process, we become, and that's how one becomes qualified to become a Brahmana. And then the Kshatriyas have the spirit of for ruling. They are not afraid on the battlefield, and they are charitable. The Vaishyas are the mercantile class of men, trade in commodities, protect cows, Goraksha and Vanidya. So that is the Vaishyas. Shudras are laborer class, serve the higher classes because they themselves are not very intelligent. It is like a society. Varnashrama system is a society to help each other to advance towards the ultimate goal of life, which is devotion. We have seen that all these classes are there just because we are born in so and so, then we just carry on in that life. But ultimately, all these classes should work each other to help each other. It is not that a person who is, we know that Jagannath Puri, in that Lord's deities, there are for every service there is a class of person who is rendering that service. Of course, one should still, it doesn't mean that one who is cleaning the streets is low and one who is sitting on the chariot of Jagannath Ji is great. No, all are rendering service, and Lord sees and appreciates the services, not this birth, right? And he doesn't sees that, okay, that he is less intelligent or he is more intelligent. Similarly, Pandita Samadarshinaha is that we should also have the same vision that we should not discriminate someone as low or very high just because of their scholarship or their educational qualification. We should respect everyone equally. We should honor, offer value to everyone equally. From every position, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Sakarmana tam abhyarchya. One can serve the Supreme Lord by performing one's prescribed duty. It is not that only the Brahmanas can serve the Supreme Lord and not the Shudras. Anyone can serve the Lord. This is what, that's why Gandhiji, he said Harijan, people who were casted out and made as untouchables. Yeah, we see that the spirit is from Bhagavad Gita that a Mahatma is one who sees everyone equal. No one should think that his prescribed duties are inferior. A Brahmana can serve the Lord by using his intelligence, and Kshatriya can serve the Lord by using his military art. And then the damsels in Vrajadham were girls born of Vaishya class, and they engaged in protecting cows and producing agriculture. Krishna's foster friend Nanda Maharaj and his associates were all Vaishyas. They were not at all educated, but they could serve Krishna by loving him. And similarly, there are many instances in which Chandala or those lower than Shudras have served Krishna. Also, the sage Vidura was considered a Shudra because his mother happened to be a Shudra. There are no distinctions, for it is declared by the Lord in Bhagavad Gita that anyone engaged specifically in devotional service is elevated to the topmost without a doubt. Another significant phrase in this is Nati Him Shrena, with minimum violence or sacrifice of life. Even if a devotee has to commit violence, it should not be beyond what is necessary. Sometimes the question is put before, you ask us not to eat meat, but you are eating vegetables. Do you think that is not violence? The answer is that eating vegetables is violence, and vegetarians are also committing violence against the living entities because vegetables also have life. Non-devotees are killing cows, goats, and so many other animals for eating purpose, and a devotee is vegetarian, is also killing. But here, significantly, it is stated that every living entity has to live by killing another entity. That is law of nature. Jivo jivasya jivanam. One living entity is the life for another living entity. But for a human being, that violence should be committed only as much as necessary. A human, I mean, even in Quran, there is this that animals should not be killed. If it has to be killed, how it should be killed, so that there is less karma. So all, yeah, this is also in line with this. A human being is not to eat anything which is not offered to the Supreme Lord. Yajna sishtasina shanta. One becomes freed from all sinful reactions by eating foodstuffs which are offered to yajna. A devotee therefore eats only prasad or foodstuffs offered to the Supreme Lord. And Krishna says that when a devotee offers his foodstuffs from the vegetable kingdom with devotion, he eats. A devotee is to offer to Krishna foodstuffs prepared from vegetables. If the Supreme Lord wanted foodstuffs prepared from animal food, the devotee could offer this, but he does not order to do that. So in that way, it is mentioned that what should be offered to the Lord. We have to commit violence, that is nature and natural law. We should not, however, commit violence extravagantly, but only as much as ordered by the Lord. So that's what is called Nati Himsa. One cannot avoid violence, for we are put into a conditional life in which we have to commit violence, but we should not commit more violence than necessary or than ordered by the Supreme Lord. Yeah. And then the devotee should regularly see my statues in the temple, touch my lotus feet, and offer worshipable paraphernalia and prayer. He should see in the spirit of renunciation from the mode of goodness and see every living entity as spiritual. So, to be in good mode of goodness means to appreciate one's good, what they are doing. Yeah, to have the qualities which qualify or which put us in mode of goodness. But a devotee is even above that. He's not only just settling, okay, Manav Seva is Madhav Seva, or taking care of widows, or taking care of orphans, taking care of so many things, not only at that level. A devotee is engaging in devotional service. Yeah, a temple worship is one of the duty of devotee. It is especially recommended for neophytes, but those who are advanced should not refrain from temple worship. So here we see temple worship is especially recommended for neophytes. What does this mean? The temple, we go to temple so that we see the darshan of the Lord and be blessed. That is a very basic. Yeah. But then one has to advance so that he engages in the service of the Lord. And best service to the Lord is to spread, to propagate the message of the Lord. Not that we just go to a temple, we pay our dandavats, we pay some money, we break a coconut and offer a list of our names to the Lord and beg his blessings. No, but we actually have to propagate the message of the Lord, the glories of the Lord everywhere, in the form of Harikatha, in the form of discourses to explain the glories of the Lord.
So in that way, the neophyte devotee considers the Archa Vigraha to be different from the original personality of Godhead. He considers it is representation of the Lord in the form of deity. But the next stage, an advanced devotee, what he sees is accepts the deity in the temple as the Supreme Lord. He does not see any difference between the original form of the Lord and the statue. This is the vision of a devotee whose devotional service in the highest stage of bhava. Temple deity worship is one of the functions of a devotee. He goes regularly to see the deities nicely decorated, and with veneration and respect he touches the lotus feet of the Lord and presents offerings of the worship such as fruits, flowers, and prayers. At the same time, to advance in devotional service, a devotee should see other living entities as spiritual sparks, part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. A devotee is to offer respect to every entity that has a relationship with the Lord, because every living entity originally has a relationship with the Lord as part and parcel. A devotee should try to see all living entities on the same equal level of the spiritual existence. So in that way, what happens? A Pandita, one who is learned, sees equally a very learned Brahmana, a Shudra, a hog, a dog, and a cow equally. He does not see the body, which is only an outward dress, but he sees that in everyone there is spirit spark, which is part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. So, and although a devotee sees all living entities on the level of spiritual existence, he is not interested in associating with everyone. Now everything is same. Okay, we have simply because a tiger is part and parcel of the Lord does not mean that we embrace him because of his spiritual relationship with the Lord. We must associate only with persons who have developed Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, we know what happens, it will only harm us. We should befriend and offer special respect to persons who are developed in Krishna consciousness. Other living entities are undoubtedly part and parcel of the Lord, but because their consciousness is still covered and not developed, we should renounce their association. This is very, very important. It looks like, are we discriminating? Are we, what is it called, racism? Are we practicing racism? No, we are just protecting, even in our own life. Yeah, even at work, at school, at college or university, wherever, we are very selective with whom we want to associate. We don't want to be with people who are not like-minded. Yeah, because we think, no, so he is always greedy. I want to be away from him, otherwise he will exploit me. Yeah, he is always selfish. He is always angry. So many things, and we are selective. And similarly, we have to see what are the qualities of a person. Is it conducive for our devotional advancement? Otherwise, what will happen? One day he will call, let us go for party, let us go there, let us go here, let us do that, let us do this. And slowly what may happen is our own strength. First of all, we don't have so much strength that we have acquired. That will also go, and our motivation will get diluted. And then we also get interested in other business. So in that way, devotee should, here Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, that even if one is a Vaishnava, within Vaishnava again, if he is not of good character, his company should be avoided. Although he may be offered the respect of Vaishnava. Respect should be given, but association should be very careful. Anyone who accepts Vishnu as the Supreme Personality of Godhead is accepted as Vaishnava, but a Vaishnava is expected to develop all good qualities of the demigods. So all the devatas, the qualities, they are there, right? So the person also should have all these qualities. The exact meaning of Satvena is given by Sridhar Swami as here, synonymous with Dhairyena or patience. One must perform devotional service with great patience. One should not give up the execution of devotional service because 1 or 2 attempts have not been successful. This is very, very dangerous. We see that, okay, I am offering every week, Monday, Tuesday or Wednesday, I'm doing service to you, and after 13 weeks or 40 weeks or 1 year, whatever, then still nothing is happening. Rather than we correct our own problems, we think that this process is wrong, and then we give up. That is not right. We should have patience. Satvena, dhairyena. which is patience. One must continue. And Srila Rupa Goswami also confirms that one should be very enthusiastic, utsaha, dhairyat. So these are the qualities one should have in executing devotional service. Patience is necessary for developing the confidence that Krishna will certainly accept me because I am engaging in devotional service. So this confidence should be there that one day Krishna Krishna is going to reciprocate that I can appreciate. At this moment I am not there, but I want to continue because this is a proven process. This is a proven way of engaging in devotional service. So I want to continue. One has only to execute service according to the rules and regulations to ensure success. So we take to the process and follow, and the result will definitely come. Mahatam bahu manena deenanam anukampaya maitrya chaivatma tulyeshu yamena niyamena cha. The pure devotee should execute devotional service by giving the greatest respect to the spiritual master and the acharyas. He should be compassionate to the poor and make friendship with persons who are his equals. But all his activities should be executed under regulation and control of senses. In this regard, here there is mentioned, it is recommended herein that all the acharyas be given highest respect. It is stated, Gurushu Naramati. Gurushu means unto the acharyas. Naramati means thinking like a common man, which means to think of Vaishnavas, the devotees, as belonging to a particular caste or community, to think of acharyas as ordinary men, or to think of deity in the temple as being made of stone, wood or metal is condemned. This means when we sing, hey, this person, he is a spiritual master, how can he become a spiritual master? He is not born in India. This person is a spiritual master, but he had all kinds of activities, social activities in the past. This person, how can we say he is a Brahmana? He is not born to a Brahmin family. So in that way, understanding or seeing acharyas, they are not they do not fit our definition, doesn't mean anything. That is only that we are making a big offense. But here it says that to think of Vaishnavas as belonging to a caste or a community is condemned. Why? Because when one is taking the shelter of the spiritual of this parampara system and accepts, and the spiritual master has accepted him as a devotee, it is said that he has developed sufficient qualities to become an acharya. Acharati iti acharya. So he's following the guidebook of Sri Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami. In that way, he's role model. He's not just speaking. He's not just. It's the qualification here is about, is he living the lines of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and the postulates mentioned or given by the acharyas. In that way, one is seeing whether he is a Vaishnava and he is an acharya. Niyamena, one should offer the greatest respects to the acharya. This is very important. According to the standard regulations, a devotee should also be compassionate to the poor. This does not refer to those who are poverty-stricken materially. According to devotional vision, a man is poor if he is not in Krishna consciousness. This is a very, very important point. If one is in poverty, how to understand that? How poor he is in Krishna consciousness. So our definition of poverty should be very clear. We see some people who do not have even money to go to a temple, but he is not poor because he has Krishna in his heart. But then one is earning a lot, but he has no interest for Krishna, or he has very little, or he has mixed feelings for the Lord. So he is poor. A man may be very rich materially, but if he is not Krishna consciousness, he is considered poor. On the other hand, many acharyas, such as Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, used to live beneath the trees every night. Superficially, it appeared that they were poverty-stricken, but from their writings, we can understand that in spiritual life, they were the richest personality. So, how to know whether a person is poor or rich is how much determined they are in Krishna consciousness. A materially rich person is scared. Bhayam. He is always having fear. What will happen to my property? What will happen to my name? What will happen to my family? So he is always in that mode. In that way, he is very poor because he has no faith in Krishna. He has no faith that Krishna is the ultimate. He can protect. He will give what is needed. He will take away anyway what is not required. So I have full faith in Krishna. So that conviction a rich person may not have. But a person who understands Krishna consciousness properly, he doesn't care. A devotee shows compassion to those poor souls who are wanting in spiritual knowledge by enlightening them in order to elevate them to Krishna consciousness. That is one of the duties of a devotee. He should also make friendship with persons who are on an equal level with himself, or who has the same understanding that he does. For devotee, there is no point in making friendship with ordinary persons. He should make friendship with other devotees so that by discussing among themselves, they may elevate one another on the path of spiritual understanding. And what is this called? This is called Ishta Goshti. Ishta Goshti is that discussing not about whatever comes to Ishta means like. Ishta means something that we desire. Of course, Ishta Goshti means not that people come together and then they are discussing about how to make success in trade, or how to make success or happy. It's not that. Ishta Goshti is basically they come together and discuss about the Lord, so that they by this process are actually advancing. In Bhagavad Gita, there is this reference to Bodhayanta Parasparam. So what is this is going on? Discussing among themselves. Generally, few devotees utilize their valuable time in chanting and discussing various activities of Krishna or Lord Chaitanya among themselves. There are innumerable books such as Puranas, Mahabharata, Bhagavata, Bhagavad Gita and Upanishads, which contain countless subjects. So the best thing is when people come together, they're discussing these things. Other things, okay, it's like, okay, warm up maybe to know well-being of a person and all those things, but slowly the conversation discussion should be more on Krishna consciousness. The friendship should be cemented between persons with mutual interests and understandings. Such persons are called Swajati. Jati means caste. Swajati means same caste. So what is that caste? Devotee caste. The devotee should avoid a person whose character is not fixed in standard understanding, even though he may be a Vaishnava. If his character is not correctly representative, then he should be avoided. One should steadily control the senses and mind and strictly follow the rules and regulations. This is very, very important. We should control our senses and also engage in the right things based on the rules and regulations, and should make friendship with persons of the same standard. And then we talk about a devotee should always try to hear about spiritual matters and should always utilize his time in chanting the holy name of the Lord. His behavior should always be straightforward and simple, and although he is not envious, but friendly to everyone, he should avoid the company of persons who are not spiritually advanced. I think for the obvious reasons what we discussed. It is especially mentioned here, Nama Sankirtanascha. One should chant the holy name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, either individually or with others. And then Arjavena means without diplomacy. A devotee should not make plans out of self-interest. If I do this, then I will get some benefit. No, that is not the interest of a devotee. Of course, preachers sometimes have to make some plans to execute the mission of the Lord under proper guidance. But regarding personal interest, a devotee should always be without diplomacy and should avoid the company of persons who are not advancing in spiritual life. Another word of another word of Aryan are persons who are advanced in consciousness of knowledge of Krishna consciousness. The difference between Aryan and non-Aryan is Sura and Asura, means devotees and demons. Association with persons who are not spiritually advanced is forbidden. Asat Sanga Tyaga. We see this in Nectar of Instruction. One of the forbidden things one of the 6 forbidden things is Asat Sanga Tyaga. Who are attached to temporary. Asat is one who is too materially attached, who is not a devotee of the Lord, or who is too attached to women or enjoyable material things. Such a person, according to Vaishnava philosophy, is a persona non grata. So, a devotee should not be proud of his acquisitions. The symptoms of a devotee are meek and humility. Although spiritually very advanced, he will always remain meek and humble, as Kaviraj Goswami and other Vaishnavas have taught us by personal example. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught that one should be humbler than the grass on the street and more tolerant than the tree. One should not be proud or falsely puffed up. In this way, one will surely advance in spiritual life. When one is fully qualified with all these transcendental attributes and his consciousness, he is immediately attracted simply by hearing my name or hearing of my transcendental qualities. So which means when we come to this level, when we come to this understanding, and when we follow this process of what is the process to control our senses, to engage in devotional service, to give up unnecessary association, and develop the good qualities. When all these things happen, the consciousness is purified and he is immediately attracted simply by hearing the name. Right now we are struggling. When we are chanting, we are not getting a taste. When we are chanting, we are not appreciating the greatness of it. We not even know what is happening. The reason is being these 3 things. When we correct these 3 things, then we will attract ourselves to the chanting of the holy name. And then, as the chariot of air carries an aroma from its source and immediately catches the sense of smell, similarly, one who constantly engages in devotional service in Krishna consciousness can catch the Supreme Soul, who is equally present everywhere. I am present in every living entity as a super soul. If someone neglects or disregards that super soul everywhere and engages himself in the worship of the deity in the temple, that is simply imitation. So this is very important. This is very important that we may think that, okay, I have only business with the Lord in the temple. I don't have anything towards anyone around me, or not respecting them. He's saying it's just an imitation. It's not devotion. It is not worship. It is only imitation. In purified consciousness, one sees the presence of Krishna everywhere. Therefore, if one only engages in deity worship in the temple and does not consider other living entities, then he is in the lowest grade of devotional service. One who worships the deity in the temple and does not show respect to others is a devotee on the middle platform, in the lowest stage of devotional service. A devotee should try to understand everything in relation with Krishna and try to serve everything in that spirit. To serve everything means to engage everything in the service of Krishna. If a person is innocent and does not know his relationship with Krishna, an advanced devotee should try to engage him in the service of Krishna. If you tell that person about Krishna and everything, he will not appreciate it. But rather, when we engage him in the service of Krishna, that is the starting that helps him. One who is advanced in Krishna consciousness can engage not only the living being, but everything in the service of Krishna. One who worships the deity of the Godhead in the temples, but does not know that the Supreme Lord, as Paramatma, is situated in every living entity's heart, must be in ignorance and is compared to one who offers oblation into ashes. The same thing. So therefore, persons who profess to belong to some religious sect but who do not feel the presence of the Supreme Lord in every living entity are in the mode of ignorance. So in the modernized civilized society, what is this is leading to? This is leading to killing animals. Why? Because we think, hey, after all, animals. Yeah, there is one video where Prabhupada was asking, or was telling about ahimsa, or he was telling about thou shall not be killed is in your commandments. What is it called? 10 Commandments. Yeah. In that, the first one is thou shall not be killed means you should not kill animals. Then he says no, animals, plants, they don't have soul. No, but that is wrong. And with that understanding, one just keeps on killing because they say, hey, these are not beings, they are not living. In the modern civilized society, slaughterhouses are regularly maintained and supported by a certain type of religious principle. But without knowledge of presence of God in every living entity, any so-called advancement of human civilization, either spiritual or material, is to be understood as being in the mode of ignorance. So that is, in the mode of ignorance, we are not able to see that the Paramatma is present in every being, and there is also Atma present in every being. So in that way, we should not harm, we should not commit violence. So this is what is the understanding. A devotee, if he does not understand this, and if he thinks that only I have a business with the God, he is a devotee in the mode of ignorance. Thank you very much. I'll stop here. Any questions? Anyone want to add anything? Everything clear? I know it's very, very early morning. It was too dry. There is no philosophy. There is no katha. Okay, then I release you for the weekend. Thank you very much for joining. पंचकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. शिला प्रभुपाद की जय. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Guruji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Hare
Guruji.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.